So we've got a great lineup of information for you today, and for the Elementor page speed course, we've got it broken down into 6 different layers and 6 different backgrounders. There's a lot of information to cover. I wanted to design this course so that you can actually absorb things one step at a time. So I created 6 different layers of information so that you can cover off all the core information in each layer. And then I've got 6 backgrounders that will actually support each of those layers. So start off in background 1. I go into all the information about, is Elementor a good choice for page speed? Is it something that you should be choosing for page speed in the first place? And why Elementor is actually good for page speed? Then we go into layer 1, about being very careful about what you add to your page design, keeping things very simple. And there's a lot of information in this particular layer. Layer 2 then comes next, is using the Elementor advanced settings and experiments so that you can actually speed up the whole of Elementor with something that's built in at the back end. Backgrounder 2, we're going to run regular speed tests and how to do that, and using GT metrics and of course using Google Page Speed. Layer 3, we're going now into some of these inner layers. The inner layer here, layer 3, is watch your fonts. We've broken down this into 2 modules, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is how you actually manage your fonts in Elementor. And then part 2, how do you actually simplify the removal of excess fonts, because it can be quite tricky. So we cover that in some good detail and give you some great tools. Then going on to backgrounder 3, we introduce you to a tool called Perform Matters. And you can get that at getus.at/performmatters. And this allows you to clean up any issues that can't be done in any other way. And I break that down into 2 parts, part 1 and 2 again. The intro and basics, and then some of the advanced features. For the next backgrounder 4, I talk about how you should be testing on a staging site. When you're first setting up your Elementor site, you don't want to be working on your live site when you're doing some of these speed optimizations, especially if you've got a lot of traffic coming to your site. So you should be setting on a staging site. So I'll give you some good information about how to do that, especially if your current hosting doesn't have a staging option. So layer number 4, we're getting deeper and deeper into resolving speed issues on Elementor. Image management is a core part of making sure that Elementor loads fast. Again, we're going to break that down into 2 steps, part 1 and part 2. We're going to start talking about desktop and mobile images, and then specifically go on to, on part 2, how you use WebP images and why you should be using that across your whole site. Getting into the next layer, talking all about icons and how you should be managing these properly in Elementor. Going into the next backgrounder 5, sliders. There's something that went out of fashion 5 years ago, but still a lot of people are using. So we're going to talk about why you should be avoiding them, and also image carousels, which are basically the same thing. Going deeper into the layers, layer 6, how you should be handling video properly on Elementor so that it may, for example, not be displayed on mobile, and how, for example, you can do a preview image rather than actually displaying the video straight off. So we'll cover all that off. In backgrounder 6, page caching. If you don't know what caching is, this is going to be your starting point to learning what it is, and using 2 specific tools that we'll be introducing you to, and 2 that I recommend, WP Rocket or Flying Press and Flying Press. I recommend both of these 2, and you can get WP Rocket at getus.at/WP Rocket and Flying Press at getus.at/Flying Press. So that covers a huge amount of information. This course is a very, very detailed course specifically designed for Elementor to get it running fast and staying fast. This will allow you to get to the top and stay at the top, which is what we're all about. As you may know, I have a full page speed course. It's a very in-depth course that gives a lot of information, gives you all the basics which are crucial to understanding page speed. This is an add-on to that particular course. It's highly recommended that you do that course first.